Well, after the Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan's press conference confirming that yes, indeed, there were massive loopholes in the NTA conducted NEET examination, Times now brings you explosive new investigation inputs in the NEET 2026 paper leak scandal, and now the allegations are coming directly from the whistleblower. Yes, you know about the arrest, you know about the entire paper leak mafia, but now we are going to get you here on Times Now, the whistleblower who appeared for the examination himself. As the protests have been intensifying and arrests are continuing across the state, Times Now has now accessed alleged Telegram chats, payment conversations, screenshots, and even student testimonies pointing towards what may have been a much wider, larger, organized leak network, which is operating even before the exam. Some of them are saying that at 4 a.m., many hours before the exam, this paper was leaked. The question is how? We are going to break it down for you here on Setting the Agenda. We'll tell you what exactly it is that the whistleblower has said, and more importantly, the screenshots, which is the undeniable proof in black and white. Let's start first with the whistleblower. An MBBS student from Maharashtra, Deepak Datta Patil, who appeared for the NEET examination himself in Latur. He has claimed that this paper was already circulating hours before the examination of NEET began by the NTA. He alleged that Telegram groups and middlemen were openly offering confirmed papers. Yes, they called it confirmed papers to the students in exchange for money. However, the whistleblower has said that the students allegedly paid anywhere between 20,000 rupees and 1 lakh rupees to access the leaked papers. These are the stunning discoveries which have been made during the investigation. The whistleblower himself has said all of this. He's further claimed that immediately after the examination ended, one of his friends showed him a leaked PDF copy of the paper, and according to him, every single question of the actual NEET examination was matching with the leaked one. He has alleged that some of the students had already received the paper as early as 4 a.m. on the morning of the exam. After he raised this issue online, the whistleblower claimed that thousands of other students reached out to him directly. They allegedly shared Telegram screenshots with him. They gave him proof. They showed him chats, all of them discussing the leaked papers and even the answer key. These are the stunning revelations by the whistleblower. What we are going to now show you on Times Now are the leaked chats. Times Now has investigated the alleged digital trail behind the NEET paper leak network as well, from Telegram groups to payment chats on Instagram and WhatsApp to whistleblower revelations. The big question is, how deep does this racket go? Well, now, on Times Now, we are getting for you these exclusive chat screenshots and the alleged Telegram conversations that could become part of the crucial widening probe of the NEET, which, remember, is being now probed by the CDI. These are the screenshots that we are getting for you. This is from the private mafia, which has 204 members. And this is the name of the WhatsApp group, 204 members. And these are the conversations which are coming in. And one of the messages that was there is that of the NEET leaked question paper. This is a PDF file. This is what people were downloading ahead of the entire examination. Leaked PDF flooded the Telegram, and this is what we are showing for you. There are those who are saying, and this is an important one. There is one person who is saying, the private mafia says, solve this paper which I posted. It has a chance of 99.99% to come 3rd May exam. So essentially it is 99.9% same as the real examination is the key claim which was being made by the NEET mafia that Times Now has managed to access. This has appeared in Telegram groups as well as WhatsApp chats that we are showing for you, discussing these papers. In fact, payments also have been confirmed for the paper. This is what we are getting for you. Watch this. This one says, yeah, I did 30K, but please do not tell. So essentially, people saying, you must not tell anyone. And then it goes on to say which channel, Akash. We don't know what Akash is. Is it a reference to a coaching institute? Is it a reference to a person? We are still awaiting for a complete probe into it. But it clearly says that, yes, I did 30,000 plus. Please don't tell anyone, because they know that they are cheating, that they are denying another person of the meritorious post that they should have gotten. In fact, one of the chats contained this title which said, NEET paper leak, which we were getting for you. The second one says, as we were just telling you, 99.9% of the actual NEET examination match. And then you have these transactions that they are discussing. 30K which has been paid, while another chat said that 1,000 rupees extra for the answer key as well. Can you imagine? 1,000 rupees extra for an answer key. Now let's tell you about the other explosive detail which is also coming in from users in the groups, which allegedly celebrated after the examination, claiming that all the questions came from the PDF which was leaked to them before the exam, and that the paper matched the real exam line by line. Screenshots that you can see on your screens right now, they've also appeared to suggest that leaked material may have been circulating through private Telegram groups hours before the students have leaked examination centers. These are the screenshots you can see on your screens that have intensified the questions over whether an organized digital network was being used to circulate the alleged leaked papers, answer keys and sample questions before one of the country's most competitive entrance examinations. That's the question. Let me go across to our senior editor. We have Bhavtosh joining us live. Bhavtosh, thank you so much for joining us with all these details, and more importantly, for bringing this very important story to light. You have done the investigation. The truth is out. The proof is here in black and white. The question is, today the education minister come out and said no one's going to be spared. But what about the big fish? It appears, Bhavtosh, so far, despite the digital evidence that you've managed to access, that the big fish are still getting away.
Yes, Meghna. In fact, the probe that is being carried out by the CBI has led to arrest of at least 7 individuals. As you rightly said, they are not the big fish. At least 3 of them are linked to one family from Jaipur. But the documents that we have accessed clearly shows that there are people from inside within the system. And CBI, in its submission before the court, has mentioned that there is within NTA there is someone who had given the papers to at least someone in Pune who passed on the paper to Shubham. Now, if we go by the in the documents that have been submitted, Shubham in fact called Yash, and Yash in fact got in touch with Mangilal. Mangilal's son was to appear in the exam, and Mangilal's brother Deepak Deepak's son Vikas was appearing for the exam. And that is a change that has been established. Now, if we just go by the documents, there is also a reference that initially the paper was being sold off for at least 20 lakh rupees. But by the just 4 days before the exam, it was being sold off for around 2 lakh to 5 lakh rupees. This was the extent of the leak that was happening. And at least 100 to 200 people already had the question paper to show that it was not a leak. It was not the genuine paper that has been leaked, but a guest paper. They had mixed 100 questions with 400 other questions. Now, what actually happened was that they had 100 questions, question papers, 100 questions, and they mixed around 400 other questions. And they had said that if those matched with the original one, then they will take around 20 lakh rupees. For some, they said around 2 lakh to 5 lakh rupees. CBI has virtually solved the case. It's just a matter of time before someone within the system or NTA official will be arrested.
Oh, that's huge. Bhavtosh is saying that the CBI is very close to now announcing and officially arresting an NTA official from where the leak is suspected. That's big news that Bhavtosh is giving us. Thank you so much. This is huge news. Bhavtosh is telling us, and this right after the education minister himself came on record saying that yes, indeed, there were loopholes within the NTA system, which is the national testing agency, which is responsible for conducting NEET. Now, Bhavtosh tells us that very shortly we expect an arrest of someone within the NTA, arrest of a NEET official. This is source based information you heard right here first on Times Now. But now, let's get you another big breaking news. We are getting you the education minister's reaction. This is right after the big admission which was made by the education minister. He has said that the NTA needs improvement. Yes, something that everyone knows and has agreed about. Dharmendra Pradhan has said loopholes are going to be fixed, that genuine students will not suffer, that there is going to be zero tolerance policy when it comes to the leak. So will there be heads rolling within the NTA. That is what hasn't happened so far. Not only that, Dharmendra Pradhan, the Education Minister, has said that NTA needs improvement and reform, and that NTA is to improve and reform the NTA is going to be the need of the hour. Listen in to what the Union Education Minister had to say.
8, 9, 10, 11 3-4 दिन में जब हमको स्पष्टता हुई, हम कंफर्म हुए हैं कि इस बार गेस्ट पेपर की आड़ पे क्वेश्चंस बाहर गया है। हम 12 तारीख को छात्रों के हितों में हम नहीं चाहते थे कोई गलत कैंडिडेट एजुकेशन माफियाओं के षड्यंत्र से कोई भी सही छात्र की अधिकार वंचित हो जाए। इसीलिए हम बड़ी जिम्मेवारी के साथ हमने कहा था हम जीरो टॉलरेंस की अप्रोच में चलते हैं। अनेक सुधार की सुझाव है और सुधार मैं मानता हूँ एक कंटिन्यूअस विषय है। सुधार कोई अल्टीमेट नहीं होती है। सुधार जो हम ओपन माइंड में एनटीए उस विषय में अभी तो एनटीए बहुत योग्य व्यक्ति के हाथ में है। हमारे सचिव की बहुत अनुभव भी उस विषय में है। मैं मानता हूँ हमें एनटीए को सुप्रीम कोर्ट की आदेश करने एनटीए बनी है। एनटीए हर एक साल 1 करोड़ बच्चों की एग्जामिनेशन कराती है अमूमन। एनटीए और निर्भुल हो, एनटीए में जीरो एरर हो, जीरो यानी जीरो एरर हो, ये हमारी दायित्व है।
This is our responsibility that NTA is reformed, but will the big fish be caught is the question. Let me go across to our reporter. Pragya is also joining us, getting us more details of that. Well, Pragya, we've heard what the Education Minister has said, that there's going to be a zero tolerance policy. Bhavtosh just told us there's a possibility of an arrest very soon by the NTA, of an NTA official by the CBI itself. Do you think finally there is a political will to clean up the entire system, or is it too little too late?
Well, Meghna, it is too little too late, but having said that, the government and in fact the minister himself has said that this is the time where CBI will go to the root cause of the problem. Last time when it did investigation, probably only a certain number of people were apprehended and also being blamed for the paper leak. But this time they are saying that they will go to root cause. This is a social evil that prevails in society. There is a mafia that exists and they operate within certain circles as well, and they are trying to nab those mafia guys as well. So this is a response that has come from the Education Minister when asked whether NT officials were involved or not. He said anyone inside NT or outside will not be spared this time, and in fact action is going to be taken, heads are going to be rolled. This is exactly his words when he spoke about NTA officials being involved. Having said that, he also made a very important point, Meghna. He said that the government never wanted money bags to take away or snatch seats of meritorious students, and that is why the decision to cancel NEET was taken. It was a hard decision, but top leadership was also briefed about that, and that is why the decision to cancel it was taken. But that does not mean that there is no responsibility that comes on NTA. NTA is totally responsible for it.
Absolutely.
But the defense that government right now is giving is that NTA did not hide what came on their portal. They in fact look into it. They started investigation, and when they were really confirmed that these guest paper had the same questions that were appeared on NEET exam, this is when the NEET paper was cancelled and investigation was ordered.
So essentially NTA did not try to cover it up, did not try to hide it, but that's too little too late, because we must also spare a thought for all the meritorious students who gave their exam and now they're being forced to again 1 month later re-give it. What about them? In fact, that is the next big breaking news. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, well, he's announced that the NEET UG re-examination is going to be held on the 21st of June. Let's get you a lowdown of what you can expect. This is amid the entire ongoing controversy, where the government has decided to grant the candidates an additional 15 minutes during the retest, with revision examination guidelines also going to be set in place as well, and that is going to be implemented. Also, that the NTA will be issuing fresh admit cards for all the candidates, which are expected to be released by the 15th of June. In fact, officials have clarified that there will be no fees for the re-examination of NEET, and the old admit cards will not be valid for the retest. It's a major reform call which is coming from the Education Minister. Listen in.
कि परीक्षा में थोड़ा हमको जो उनकी फॉर्मेलिटीज़ है, OMR शीट को दस्तखत करना, आरंभ में एक बार करना, अंत में भी एक बार करना, उसमें हमारे विद्यार्थियों कोर टाइम में कटौती हुई थी। जो 2 से 5 एग्जामिनेशन टाइम था, उसको ध्यान में रखते NTA ने तुरंत एक निष्पत्ति किया है कि उसको और 15 मिनट बढ़ाएं। 2 से शुरू होगा, 5:15 तक ये परीक्षा की समय बढ़ाया जाएगा। और आज हमने आज नई तिथि के साथ आ रहे हैं। लगभग आज से 1 महीने से थोड़ा 1-2 दिन के बाद नई परीक्षा होगी। हमारी अप्रोच वही रहेगा, हम जीरो टॉलरेंस टू माल प्रैक्टिसेस। ये एक लंबी लड़ाई है परीक्षा माफियाओं के साथ जो एंटी सोशल एलिमेंट अभी मित्रों टेक्नोलॉजी के समय में एक नई चुनौती बढ़ रहा है।
Well, with that, there's more breaking news which is coming in regarding the NEET paper row. There are more updates coming in. The IMA, the Indian Medical Association, has written to the Education Minister as well, and we are going to tell you exactly what the IMA, the Indian Medical Association, has written, because this is one of the biggest problems. They have demanded immediate action, because imagine what the future doctors are going to be if it is the NEET cheats who qualify, while meritorious students do not get a seat in educational institutions because of the massive paper leaks. In fact, IMA has demanded immediate action be taken and demanded action against the National Testing Agency. Ironically, the entire NTA was set up in 2017 for the sole reason to clean up the paper leaks which are happening, saying that it is now going to be centralized. They are going to be the ones who are going to conduct all the national tests like the JEE and the NEET, and this is the condition it is in right now. But let me go across to Pragya, who's joining us. Pragya, the IMA, quite understandably, is now raising an alarm, because the fear is this: are these NEET cheats going to be our future doctors? And that is a very valid concern.
Absolutely, and government is fully aware of these concerns as well, and this is why the minister said that we did not want money bags to take seats of meritorious students, and that is why this hard decision of cancelling NEET examination. He also said that NTA did not want to hide it, and that is why this investigation has been taken up, and this is exactly the reason why government decided that there will be re-examination. But it is also a strain on students mentally and financially, though the government says that they are taking care of the fees and everything else, but there is a strain on students and the parents as well. The government says that they are fully aware of that, but they do not want meritorious students to not do well, rather than those who have got the leaked paper. And this is why the decisions, the fact is that government is also saying that there have been recommendation of Radhakrishna committee, and they have implemented 70% of it. 30% still remains. They want, Radhakrishna committee said that there should be a hybrid paper. The paper should be emailed to the centers, and at the centers there could be a printing of papers, and therefore the leak will be minimized. Chances of leak can be minimized, but that did not fructify. But government is saying next year there will be computer based examination of NEET. It is also a challenge before the government, but NTA had to also gear up, pull up the socks to ensure that there is a computer based examination. Right. Cyber challenges are galore, and government is also aware of that. But let's see how government takes
let's wait and see, because year on year we cannot have the same kind of paper leaks coming in. If there is a political will, hopefully it will show as well in the way it is conducted from here onwards. Thank you so much, Pragya, for joining us. You mentioned, in fact, the IMA letter, so let's tell you what exactly it is that the Indian Medical Association has written to Dharmendra Pradhan, the Honorable Education Minister. This is the letter saying strong condemnation of the NEET paper leak and demand for immediate action against the NTA. Very categorically saying they want action against the NTA and the culprits who are involved, saying that during the last 4 years, the NEET examination conducted by NTA has faced repeated controversies, including cancellation on 2 occasions. This is 2022 as well, reference which have been made due to instances of paper leak, examination examination irregularities. This have caused immense mental trauma, stress, hardship and uncertainties for 22.5 lakh students and their families who dedicate years of sincere preparation for this highly competitive examination, saying that 22.5 lakh students appeared for the exam, which was conducted across 551 cities, and increasing number of candidates every year conducting such a massive examination in a single phase and on a single day using physical question papers across the country has become an extremely challenging task. Therefore, serious apprehension that needs to be made, saying that first decentralize the conducting of the NEET UG examination by assigning greater responsibility to states and union territories. Also saying conduct the NEET examination in an online mode across states and union territories. There's an entire list of recommendations which have been given by the IMA, which very categorically said, A, make it automated, make it digital, and also the second is that they have recommended that states, union territories play a greater role instead of the NTA saying punish the NTA for these repeated lapses. We'll have to wait and see. There is 100% cheating evidence that we are getting for you, but what about the cheats? Will there be zero accountability? That's the question. With that, we're wrapping up, setting the agenda. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.